So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Okey, pertamanya saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih di atas jemputan pihak RMC untuk kita berkongsi maklumat berkenaan dengan satu sistem yang dibangunkan lebih kurang tahun 2018 dengan tujuan untuk membantu para staf UiTM dari seluruh sistem untuk mendapatkan semakan terhadap manuskrip yang mereka telah buat sebelum dihantar ke pihak jurnal. Okey, jadi ini merupakan rentetan daripada inisiatif INCA pada masa tersebut untuk sama-sama kita menaikkan publication dan juga citation untuk universiti towards capai kedudukan ranking yang kita target lah, iaitu top 300 in 2025. Okay, so sebelum bermula, this is what my agenda will be. Very briefly, I will share about my team. Actually, it's a new team. Nanti sebab tadi pun dimaklumkan bahawa saya dari INCA, so nanti saya tunjuklah sebenarnya kami bermula pada tahun 2021 telah pun berada dengan entiti yang baharu, okay, iaitu UiTM Global. Dan seterusnya saya akan berkongsi tentang e-RTS secara khusus dan mungkin kalau ada masa kita akan adakan question and answer. Okay, so untuk pengetahuan semua, saya rasa memang ramai pun yang tidak ambil maklum lagi bahawa sebenarnya departmen kami yang dulunya dipanggil sebagai unit pencapaian dan penarafan ada di bawah INCA, tetapi bermula tahun ini kami telah disatukan dengan lagi dua unit iaitu Department of International Affairs dan juga Department of Strategic Partnership di bawah satu payung baru iaitu di bawah UiTM Global. Okay, so kami adalah 3 department yang disatukan to synergize our work in order to achieve the agenda of the university di bawah pimpinan Prof. Chemist Dr. Hadirah Baharun iaitu our PNC UiTM Global. Okay, dan untuk tim saya, kami adalah terdiri daripada 6 orang team lah basically. Okay, saya akan lead. Di bawah saya adalah Head of Ranking Surveyor Dr. Nur Azian, dibantu oleh 2 orang koordinator, Dr. Nur Azrah Abdul Aziz daripada Fakulti Education sebagai Coordinator Communication dan juga Miss Fazlina Jaafar daripada AD untuk bantu dari segi digital and graphic content. Dan untuk pentadbiran kami dibantu oleh Nur Aini Kusani serta untuk technical data dan sebagainya akan dibantu oleh Puan Siti Juhir Niza. Okay, so itulah 6 orang tim kami. Namun untuk menggerakkan keseluruhan inisiatif yang kita ada, kami dibantu oleh ranking champions. So di seluruh sistem kita ada lebih kurang almost 100 di fakulti dan 15 orang di cawangan, di mana mereka ini menyumbangkan license officer kami yang akan membantu untuk kita gerakkan program-program ataupun inisiatif penerapan. Dan tidak di samping itu juga kami dibantu oleh satu tim yang kami panggil sebagai resident reviewer. Okay, yang terdiri daripada 4 orang resident reviewer. Prof Azni, mantan TNCA kita, Prof Dr Azmi daripada FSG, Prof Datin Hajibah daripada APB, dan juga Prof Dr Faridah Hassan daripada Business. So mereka ini walaupun telah bersara tetapi mereka merupakan tulang belakang untuk kami punya aktiviti yang related to publication dan fokus khasnya kepada e-RTS. Okay, so what is e-RTS? So sebenarnya e-RTS stand for Article Review Tracking System, di mana kami develop satu online system untuk memudah dan melicinkan pergerakan bagaimana kita boleh membantu manuskrip-manuskrip yang dibuat oleh para staf kita. Sebab satu masa dulu kita pernah juga lakukan model di mana kita buat satu bengkel dan kita invite reviewer untuk duduk sekali dan melihat secara face to face dan hard copy. Tetapi kami lihat benda tu selain daripada costly, itu juga tidak berapa cekap. So kami come out with this system to allow no limitation in term of time, location, whatsoever. Okay. And di samping itu, apa yang kami nak tekankan adalah untuk e-RTS ni, reviewer akan melihat lebih kepada language, structure, flow and basic element of the manuscript. Okay, so what we try to do is we try to help with all the vast experience yang resident review kita ada ni untuk polish, give the feedback to the author to polish back their manuscript to higher level, and then when they submit to journal, the chances to accepted is much higher. Okay, and of course the author can we able to track the status online lah basically. So what also we want like to emphasize here is we are not providing the proofread. Sebab macam you all, I rasa para prof semua, Prof Madia dan doktor-doktor semua faham, kalau proofread ni, if you send, then you will get back your manuscript in tip-top condition. It means that they already change they change the structure accordingly, edit all those grammar error whatsoever. But we are not doing that. We are going to provide the feedback to the author. And of course, in our feedback, we try to groom them. We try to provide as much relevant information for them so that they are not going to just do once. So when next time when they come out with their new manuscript, they learn something. So it's like more on hand lend their hand to the authors. Okay. So kalau boleh saya share sedikit bagaimana perkara-perkara yang kita lihat, para reviewer akan lihat. So basically di samping kita mereka lihat secara langsung tadi melalui language whatsoever, kita akan suggest juga dari segi kesesuaian. Contohnya dalam manuskrip ni, Prof Fazli suggest untuk guna perkataan lain dan juga bagi komen pasal dia punya extract is too long and lack of finding or result. Okay. So another example, para reviewer juga akan bagi terlepas. Okay, akan bagi sedikit macam feedback. In this case, author tu dia masukkan terlalu panjang megapascal punya numbers tu sampai 7 decimal point, which is not normally been done in a good manuscript. So macam di komen kat situ, normally up to 2 decimal places only. So this will become some new things or some knowledge to the author instead of just get their paper edited. So this is more on the learning process. And if we have another example here, okay, even ini biasanya Prof Datin lah ni, Prof Datin Hajibah, dia sebab dia language person, dia akan even give some differences, try to show the contrast between academic and academician. And also if the word that been used is not suitable, for example, maybe the author meant something else but they or she they write something else. So we try to ask again, is it really what they meant or not? All right. And maybe last not least, we have another feedback. So different reviewer may have different style, but all of them are try basically help the author to improve their skill, not for once, but for long term, not for short term, not for short term punya improvement. Okay, so in this case, I believe this is Prof Farida. So he note all the numbers there and he give index of comment. So whatever that he found something that the author need to look at, need to do the editing, then he will put there. So the author can have and compare and do the necessary changes. And after that, they will send to the respective journal that they want. Okay. Now even some of the author just put Malay word here. We don't know why. So that's why Prof. Haidar asked why in Malay. Maybe there is some reason. So it's up to them. It's up to the author. But we still put inquiry so that they're aware. Something like that. Okay. So it, walaupun mereka ni sebenarnya memang fokus kepada menjalankan reviewer dan menjalankan bengkel, tapi whatever yang they have go through for the last like 4 to 5 years tu, they dah come out with a very good book. I think buku ni pun memang diterbitkan oleh penerbit UiTM Press dan memang available. So what I'm trying to say is whatever scope of their work yang dia buat selama ni ada terkandung dalam writing journal articles book ni. In a way in a way. So kalau kami punya peserta dalam bengkel-bengkel kami, memang kami suggest mereka untuk beli dan gunakan this book as a reference while they go through our bengkel and workshop, etc. Okay. So and on top of that, we also have used this model to all of our bengkel, including the international bengkel, international workshop. We did conduct one international workshop last year where the similar concept, the similar thing, we deploy to our international audience. Okay. So that's a very briefly, in a nutshell, what we are doing in e-RTS. Okay. So, okay, if we can, I think I just skip because I thought I want to do the demo, but anyway, I think basically this e-RTS is very straightforward. Okay, if you can log in the system, basically all the registered user will just log in the system. Okay, and then they have a dedicated folder for them to submit their manuscript. Very straightforward. Okay, and then there are by default, there are 10 manuscripts that we allow them to submit. But of course, there's no limit. So if the author need to send more than that, just let us know that we will increase the manuscript number. Okay, but so far, never exceed 10, except a few very productive author. All right. So they can upload into the manuscript by just add submission and drag their file inside this. Okay, drag their file inside this system, and that's it. Okay, so it's going to be submitted to the system. Our reviewer will receive the notification, and 4 of them will decide, okay, which one that they think they interest to review, and they will conduct the review process. And once completed, the notification email will be sent out to the author, or the author can from time to time just look at the system to find out whether the manuscript is already finished, reviewed or not. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Very, very straightforward. And from there, the author have the responsible to edit back on their own, and if they want to do the proofread, by all means, they can send to whatever proofread services out there, and they can send to the journal. Okay, so in order to be registered in the system, we normally blast every month or every 2 months email to invite all the lecturers or even staff admin to register with us. So from there, we will register. We give the password and ID. Normally, it's based on their staff ID, right? Staff ID, and both for login and also password to get it very easy as a process of registration. And then they upload into the system, and of course, they will receive the feedback. Okay, so that's the very simple step that all the staff need to do in e-RTS. Okay, so I guess I don't take too much of your time, but I open up for if there is any question and answer related to e-RTS, so that I'm here. I just want to announce that with me is my team and also RR themselves. So if there is any particular question that you want to ask, so I open up the floor to question and answer. Thank you.
Morning, Dr. Amirul. I'm Tan
Yes,
from
yes.
GBS. Ada dua soalan.
Okay.
Soalan pertama, how long is the turnover time from the submission to e-RTS back to author? The turnover
Okay.
time. Soalan
Alright.
dua, how do this journal work together with e-RTS? Can we that means tap to their submission ke, ataupun would you recommend to certain journal within UiTM to publisher, or how does journal work with e-RTS? Thank you.
Alright. Thank you, Dr. Tan, for your question. For the first one, in terms of cycle time, normally we take around 1 to 3 working days. If there in a typical situation, but if the loading is too high, for example, at the time they have a specific workshop with other specific PTJ, then maybe it takes longer. But I would say it's less than 5 working days. Maybe Prof Azni boleh komen sikit, Prof, in term of cycle time kalau if
Thank you, Dr. Amirul. Good morning, everyone. That's a very excellent answer, Dr. Amirul. Yes, you are right. Sounds like online delivery, yeah? Between 3 to 5 days. That's very true. That's a normal, yeah? But it also depends on your manuscript. If it is a 4-page manuscript with so many errors, very bad language, structure all out, it may take us longer. But if it is a 45-page manuscript and very well written, well structured, easy to read, easy to understand, even from medical fields, it will take us only 2 days. Yeah. If it is a good paper, 4 pages to 8 pages, we can do it in a day, within 24 hours. At the same time, if let's say you are in a hurry, you have deadlines to meet, you can communicate with us directly and say you'd like it to be done ASAP, so we can accommodate, yeah, depending on our availability. Okay, thank you. I hope that answers that question.
Alright, thank you very much, Prof Azmi. So kita assume Prof Azmi ketua lah RR dia leader kat situ lah, insyaAllah. Kalau ada apa-apa, anything, we are discuss among all the 4, but Prof Azmi macam ketua kelas lah. Okay, anyway, so the second question, okay, basically I'm here to sharing the process, the model of how e-RTS is done. So I guess maybe after this, maybe RMC will propose how they think e-RTS can support whatever initiative that RMC is looking forward for, right? Because at this point, in fact, we are doing quite number of tasks. For example, we also recently have supporting RMC in terms of reviewing the grant application, which is something new we never done before, but because there is a request and we discuss on how to go about that, we set up the proper folder and we manage all the in and out of the grant application, so that went well, I guess. So I think for this, same for this platform, I mean this editing journal of UiTM concept. So if there is any good model that you would like us to support, so that is the thing that we can support. We are here to provide the expertise that we have from the 4 reviewer, and that's the process. So maybe we can discuss on further details later on about that. How about that, Dr. Young? Is it okay?
Thank you, Dr. Amirul. If you allow me, may I propose at this point, I can see that e-RTS is a system is well developed, and also the extent of the editing will be on a minimal side. Now that is also will cope well with my plan. Now initially I thought all journal editors, once they finish with the peer review, I assume that there are not many changes or correction required. So I thought the journal editors can benefit from the e-RTS system and submit those pre-published manuscript to e-RTS to have the second pair of eye and have the language, okay, the language and the structure check for another time before it gets published. Okay, so I think e-RTS fits really well on this side. So most of the editors here, once they finish with the peer review, they can submit to e-RTS, have it checked, polish the language a little bit, then can go straight away for publication. Yeah. So this is why I think it fits well with our journal.
Yeah, that's great. Any feedback from RR? Anybody want to say something?
Can I add on to that? I think that's a good idea because we look at all manuscripts. We don't look at the specifications of each journal. I understand that there are 50 journals in UiTM, and you're trying to work together with Dr. Amirul's department. So we will probably not look at the specifications of your particular journal because we look at it in general. We only check on the structure, the contents, the language, on the flow, as Dr. Amirul explained, but we will not check on the referencing system, citation, and all that based on your particular journal. So it would, and also the contents. We cannot be doing the specific contents for each discipline because we are from different areas. We can only look at it generally. So it would be a good idea if your peer reviewers would do that first. Yeah, do that and check on the whether the the let's say specifications, the numbering system and all that. Yeah, whether you want it double spacing, single spacing, double column, single column, that kind of thing. We don't look at that because there are so many journals and we cannot look at each and every one for each manuscript. So it'll be good that your editorial look at it first, and then finally we, as Dr. Amirul say, we help to polish the manuscript before final submission. That would be a great idea. Thank you. That's my opinion. Perhaps other RRs have other input.
Yeah, can I say something, Dr. Amirul and Dr. Yong? Right. Thank you to Dr. Yong for your pointers, and also I'm glad, Dr. Tan, I think you're still here. Also highlighted on your concern. I think I need to share what our 4RR, including myself, has gone through. And it was related to what Dr. Yong mentioned just now regarding, I think several times the word language came about, yeah, that your reviewers will do it, and then we look through and polish the language and all that. I would like to share what Dr. Tan and myself has gone through on a separate note, in a Scopus journal that we are handling. Basically, if BRC or RMI and also all the research champions at the faculties as well as the Cawangan are dealing with journals, they should be having their own peer reviewers. And I have to compliment Dr. Tan because we are handling one Scopus journal together. And in our team, we make sure that we also have those groups who are submitting papers, like for example, conference papers, yeah, special issues and all that, to have a language editor handling the whole package of what do you call that, papers that they are submitting for the final ones, yeah, for special issue or what do you call that, normal issue. So I think at this level, the authors should be made responsible to appoint or also submit their papers to a language editor. All right. Like what Prof. Azli mentioned just now, we will not have that capacity or capability to handle every one paper in very detail, okay? Apart from the content, to do language over here, I think it's not our total purview, because I think over here, Datin Prof. Hajibah will be the only one who will be able to scrutinize at all angles 360, but I don't think she would want to do for all the papers under e-RTS or RMI if you all submit to us. So we need that help from all parties. If the under Dr. Amirul's group would offer the second hand to assist. So I think in terms of format, language structure, accordingly, whether it's social science or science papers, yes, we are able to give feedback based on our past experience since 2018, 19, 20, now 21. I think we are quite familiar already with the submission from all faculties in UiTM. You know, really varied, but we do hope we need that cooperation if we were to assist further. So I think like what Dr. Yong mentioned, yes, I would agree. Dr. Amirul has already, and the team, Dr. Azian, Nis, and all that technical side has already set up a very good e-RTS platform. I don't deny that. It now becomes an auto cruise thing for us to pick up the papers, select, review, provide feedback, and also, but then when we recently, what do you call that, were given a chance to look at the proposals, grant proposals, that was a different approach altogether. So when we receive from RMI, we do not know what's next. Definitely there must be some newness in it. So we hope that these feedbacks will help Dr. Yong and the team to you know, give us, I put it in a simple word, Dr. Yong, it's kind of depressing to see some of the papers are just like being, it's like a dumping ground to us, which we cannot tolerate, you know, because especially when language is concerned, and you know, like just now, you want to write in English or you want to write in BM, you know, so you decide. I mean, that becomes very minor, but it becomes very, how do I say, jarring, yeah. So they need to, when they submit to us, make it the best lah, so that we help them, they help us also. So that's one. The other thing, we do hope that the papers that they submit will be the final version, yeah, because if they submit in like progress work, I think it's double, triple job when they resubmit again later. You know, we do not want that. We want, if possible, final, they're sure what they are submitting. Yes, we can be of help, no problem with that. So I think I've answered a lot of it, but the point that I wanted to highlight just now is that I think Dr. Tan and the team, his editorial team had a lot of headaches with one journal, Scopus journal, where initially it was a dumping ground, but later on when we emphasize on quality, people are more serious in what they are submitting. We want to encourage them, but we want them to be serious with what they are doing also when writing. Thank you, Dr. Yong, and also Dr. Amirul.
Okay, so I guess that will give a conclusion to this presentation. If there is anything, just let us know. We can try to accommodate whatever question or answer question later on. So I hand over back to MC. Alright, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ribuan terima kasih diucapkan kepada Dr. Amirul atas perkongsian sebentar tadi. Banyak input yang telah diberikan. Semoga dapat memberikan manfaat kepada peserta kita pada hari ini. Mohon para hadirin untuk onkan kamera bagi tujuan bergambar dengan Dr. Amirul. 1, 2, 3. Okay, baiklah. Semula 1, 2, 3. Okey, terima kasih sekali lagi diucapkan kepada Dr. Amirul